Hey team, last year one of my daughters did a year of logic, and the way that we did that was a pile of logic books that she went through and did, but the other days that she wasn't doing a logic book, she did a logic game. And so I wanted to go over some of the games that we played and what she thought about them, which one she would spend her money on if she was buying them, and which one she wouldn't. We did have a couple more Think Fun games. One was about penguins and another one, but she didn't like it all and actually got rid of them even before making this video because it was last year. And so, but this is what we kept in the collection, partly because some of them belong to other kids in the family and partly because they really enjoyed them. So jump in is your basic card. They set up where the bunnies are, and you have to, where the foxes are, and the bunnies have to get around the foxes. She thought this was fine. She thought that the animals were really cute. She had no trouble solving it. She thought it was very simple. It is for ages 7 to adult, and she was 10 last year, so that would make sense. She played quite a few of them and then kind of quit. She was good, but it was good for solving and for being cute. And we like how small the box is because some of these are pretty big, and so they take up a lot of space. But this one's really small. We've actually traveled with it in the car. And so, yes, jump in was positive. She would say yes, she would play that again. Gravity Maze. This is the one I was really excited about. I found it at the thrift store after really wanting it. It's the same card you set up, and then you drop your marble in to see where it lands and see if you found the logic properly. It will land where it's supposed to. The problem we had with this one was the marble goes so fast down the track that it's really hard to see where you made the mistake. It's just super, super fast. And we already have a marble set where you can build and make different tracks and run marbles on. And that one she felt like actually was more fun and more interesting than this Gravity Maze. And so I think I'm really glad I got it at the thrift store. I don't think I would try it again, just because unless you, I mean, if you have it, if you don't have a marble maze game or a marble game of some kind or a marble toy of some kind, then this might be good for you to just have something around because it is smaller than a lot of the sets and it does work. The marbles do go through it. You can watch them. But as far as logic game, puzzles, I might pass on this one. The other thing is the marble is really small. So if you're working with preschoolers or toddlers or babies that could potentially be ingesting them, this one is that's another reason to stay away from it. And it is, say, 8 and adult, so the puzzles are harder. I struggled with solving some of these puzzles, and like she said, it just went really, really fast. So this is probably not recommended. And of course, you know, if you love it, that's awesome. That's awesome. Rush Hour. I found this at the thrift store as well. My friend in college had Rush Hour, and she loved to play it for hours. I played it a few times. I thought Melissa would get a kick out of it. She did like this. She did solve quite a few of them. It is an ages 8 and up. But when I asked her what was her favorite, she came back to this one to complain about the most, which I thought was fascinating. I mean, she didn't like the marbles moving so quickly because she couldn't solve it. This one she could solve, but she didn't like the way the cars felt. And so she said it wasn't even fun to play with because she didn't like the texture of the cars, which I just found hilarious. I'm like, really? That of all the reasons that you're like, I don't want to play this game. But that was her opinion. So we do think it's got some really good, solid solution, traffic jam, fun, move the cars around. It's one of the original ones that was created. And it's kind of a classic. So it's up to you. Maybe figure out how, you know, borrow it from a friend. Somebody probably has this one. But if you're interested, but yeah, her only complaint was that the cars didn't feel right. To contrast that, this one was her favorite. Now I do have to say, I did buy Rush Hour and Gravity Maze. You can see we paid $9 for Gravity Maze for the class from the thrift store. And so she hadn't really played them before the class. This one we also bought brand new. We didn't get it from, now I was going to have a hard time opening it. Ta-da! Melissa's obsessed with Aaron's Thinking Putty. I don't know if your kids like Aaron's Thinking Putty, but this game is based on that Thinking Putty where you are building, trying to solve mazes with the colors through this grid. And she also liked how small it was. And so you place these little gray pieces down that I find to be very finicky and obnoxious. And then you lay the putty through it and try to go around and not let the putty cover each other. Now, this color is what she made from the pieces that kept getting mixed up. And so the colors will get mixed up. She did solve quite a few of them. And even when I got this out to make the video, she immediately got this out and started playing with it again. Immediately started puzzling with it again. She found this to be her favorite. Now, I would say it was awful. She loved it because she loves the thinking putty, and she knew, and maybe this is your hook, she knew that at the end, when she solved all of the puzzles, she got to keep the thinking putty as her gift. So she was way more motivated, and she had nothing like this. But the setup and the tear down of each little one, and the pieces, they just fall off. They don't stay. And then the other problem, they don't snap in. There's no snap in. And then the other problem I had was they don't stick, like you have to be really, take tons of time to make sure they're the right direction for this thing to close properly. So I've seen a lot of computer games that do the same thing, where you have colors and you're just trying to go around with the little stuff. In this case, I mean, I like the 3D tactile. I like being off the screen. She was really happy with it. So it was a success and a win for us. Would I encourage other moms who maybe have carpet to have all this thinking putty around their house? I mean, that's your call. Like, if you like it like my daughter does and we don't have carpet, then, you know, maybe this is the answer, especially if you're trying to bribe them into trying these different logic puzzles. But it is fiddly and it is obnoxious, but we threw away the box, and how happy am I that her favorite one just fits like that, and now it won't even shut. Yeah, I don't know. It's a game and a puzzle. So there you are. These are the 4 games that we kept from that logic class. The curriculum that we used for the books I can go over at some point if anybody's interested, but I think any of these are successful. The smart games, they all similar, just different design of animals or creatures. And then of course the Think Fun, they're, you know, each one is playing off of a toy. So we've got some more games in the background for another video. But anyway, I hope this helps. I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you find some good logic games for your family, and that this review and overview is helpful to you guys. Again, this is Elizabeth signing off from Silver Nest Homeschooling. Hoping you have a really great day, and we'll talk to you soon.